Hi friends, welcome to LKS Anatomy classes. Today we are going to discuss about scapula. We go through the contents, introduction, side determination, surfaces, borders, angles, processes, muscle attachments, and applied anatomy of scapula. Introduction. Scapula is a flat bone. The body of scapula is thin, flat, and triangular with two surfaces, ventral surface and dorsal surface. Scapula lies on posterior lateral aspect of thorax extending from second to seventh rib. See in this following diagram, it extends from second rib to seventh rib. Side determination of scapula. The glenoid cavity faces laterally forwards and a bit upwards at an angle of 45 degrees from the coronal plane. In this diagram, you can see here clearly it extends forwards laterally and upwards. The coracoid process is directed forward. See here, directed forwards. The shelf-like spinous process is directed posteriorly. See in this diagram. Different parts of scapula. Scapula has three angles: superior, inferior, and lateral angle. Three borders: superior, medial, and lateral border. Two surfaces: costal surface and dorsal surface. Three processes: spinous process, acromion process, and coracoid process. Angles of scapula: superior angle, which is called by trapezius; inferior angle, which is called by latissimus dorsi muscle; lateral or glenoid angle, which is broad and bears a glenoid cavity; fossa. Borders of scapula: superior border, which is thin and shorter. It presents a suprascapular notch near the root of coracoid process. Lateral border, which is thick and extends from glenoid cavity and to inferior angle. Medial border, it is thin and extends from superior angle to inferior angle. See in this following diagram, superior border, which extends from superior angle to lateral angle, and lateral border, which extends from lower margin of glenoid cavity to inferior angle, and medial border, which extends from superior border to inferior angle. Surfaces: costal or ventral surface, which is concave, and it has subscapular fossa, which provides origin to subscapularis muscle. It acts as a lever for the action of serratus anterior in the overhead of abduction of arm. It has three longitudinal ridges which provides attachment to intramuscular tendons of subscapularis muscle. Dorsal surface. It divides the surface into smaller supraspinous fossa, which is of upper one third, and large infraspinous fossa, which is of lower two thirds of the by the spine of scapula. The two fossa are connected by a spinoglenoid notch. Processes. There are three process: spinous process, which is present on the dorsal aspect of the body of scapula and triangular in shape. Its anterior border is attached to body of scapula and posterior border known as crest of spine to free. The crest has two lips, upper lip and lower lip. Acromion process of scapula. It has medial and lateral border, superior and inferior surfaces. It is an articular facet which articulates with the lateral end of clavicle. Coracoid process. It is present above the glenoid cavity and it bends sharply, which attaches with etaphumerus to form glenohumeral joint. Muscle attachments. Muscles attached to three fossa of scapula. On costal surface, subscapular fossa provides origin to subscapularis muscle and medial two thirds. Supraspinatal spinatus muscle, which is originated on medial two thirds of from supraspinous fossa on up dorsal surface. Infraspinatus muscle arises from infraspinous fossa medial two third on dorsally. Muscles attached to three borders of scapula. Medial border, costal surface provides attachment, that is insertion to serratus anterior. Dorsal surface from above provides insertion of three muscles: levator scapula, rhomboides minor, rhomboides major. Lateral border, its dorsal surface provides origin to teres minor and teres major. Superior border, inferior belly of Mohead is attached on superior border near the suprascapular notch. In this following diagram, you can see the muscle attachments. Levator scapula, which extends from superior angle to root of spine. Rhomboides minor, exactly opposite to root of spine, and rhomboides major, which extends from root of spine to inferior angle. Laterally, teres minor, upper two thirds, and teres major, lower one third. Latissimus dorsi, inferiorly. Muscles attached to three processes of scapula: crest of spine of scapula and border of acromion process. Deltoid muscle takes origin from the inferior lip of crest of spine of scapula and lateral border of acromion process. Trapezius is inserted on the upper lip of crest of spine of and middle border of acromion process. In this diagram, you can see clearly trapezius upper crest of spine, deltoid to the border of spinous process, coracoid process, coracobrachialis and shorted of biceps brachii arises from the tip of coracoid process, and pectoralis minor is inserted on the superior surface of coracoid process. Muscles attached to supraglenoid tubercle. Supraglenoid tubercle provides origin to long head of biceps brachii. Muscles attached to infraglenoid tubercle. A long head of triceps arises from infraglenoid tubercle. Inferior angle latissimus dorsi originates at the inferior angle of scapula. Ligaments attached to scapula. Suprascapular ligament is attached on other end of suprascapular notch. Three ligaments are attached to coracoid process. Coracohumeral to the root of coracoid process. Coracoacromial ligament to the lateral border of coracoid process. Coracoclavicle ligament to the conad and trapezoid part of coracoclavicle ligament. Ossification. Scapula ossifies by cartilaginous. It has one primary center and seven secondary centers. Applied anatomy of scapula. Paralysis of serratus anterior muscle cause winging of scapula. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe LKS anatomy classes.